Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Basil gameplay video. My name is Logan Opie. I am the lead gameplay programmer.
Hi, my name is Jonny Nhim. I was the lead character artist and art director.
Hi, I'm Arman. I am the narrative designer and design lead.
Yeah, and welcome to the Isles of Spice. So we're gonna get into this awesome opening cutscene.
So the person talking right now is Saffron. He's Basil's little brother, and he has some sort of mysterious powers that are briefly touched upon throughout the game, but it leaves a lot of questions for a sequel, perhaps? That's Sage, the shaman of the village, who is passing on the mantle to Basil. And in a moment, you will see Anise, Basil's rival, quote unquote, but also best friend. And she is very upset that Basil is becoming shaman because Basil is a layabout, a lazy lizard, as it were.
Laying in my
And yeah, just chilling in her hammock all day doing nothing, and suddenly she gets to be shaman because the mysterious they, chose her. And Anise is not happy about that, and she will take her own path.
It's all very, very mysterious. But we're talking to a lot of the characters, so Johnny, if you want to get into sort of this was your deal making the characters, so if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. I think one of the main dealios when it came to creating all the characters was attempting to work with narrative and try to create a cohesive culture that we could draw symbolic motifs around, like especially on Sage's fleet right there. I felt like it was interesting to create a design scheme that one gave the characters a feeling of like actually living in a tropical place, so having more lighter fitting wear, I would say, but also trying to avoid taking direct inspiration from any real world cultures, just so we don't hop into any accidental landmines along the way. But all the characters have these plants or flowers on their heads which kind of represent their given name. Basil has a red basil, and then Saffron, Sage, and Anise all have the flowers of their respective plants or herbs.
I still can't believe I found out about that today.
Yeah, right.
That's like, oh my gosh, I put all...
This game's like 2 years in the making, and you guys just found out.
Like, imagine how many times we touched those characters and put them in these places and moved them around.
I put Saffron right there. I put him there. I moved that model right. I had to look at that model so much when I was working on the head turn, because the NPCs look at you. I worked on that. Oh, I looked at him so much.
It's okay.
I'm in disbelief.
But especially with a lot of the characters, one of the main focuses was to get some splash of color to bounce off of them and or the environment they were around. Like especially Basil, it wasn't actually taking that long of iterations. It took her like 4 iterations to get to design that she's at now. But one thing that was consistently staying was her bright red basil leaves to contrast against her white and green color scheme. It was really important that we keep that character very visible, and from my understanding, red is only used on characters. I think Anise also shares red.
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of Anise, this scene brought a lot of contention in the team. Originally, our idea of Anise was that she was very abrasive and aggressive, and for some reason, people didn't like that. So people would just leave Anise in this bubble and run off, and the separation between the two, we did even a little poll with the team, all the artists and designers and programmers, and it was 90% of people were leaving Anise in the bubble and 10% were saving her. And we really wanted that to be closer to 50-50. So we had to do a lot of iteration on not just Anise's verbiage and such, but also her animations and characterization. And we've reached a point where it's not quite 50. There's our professional speedrunner falling off the cliff. Very nicely done.
I'm in 3 minutes, but I can't look off the ledge.
So anyway, we did a lot of work on Anise and changed basically her entire character multiple times to reach the end goal of what we have now. And I think we're very happy with her at this point. She's not quite beloved by everyone, but there's a what's the word?
There's a fan base.
There is. She does have her fan base. She does.
I would know.
Yeah,
Me.
Anise fanfic when?
No.
There is one Anise fan. I am that fan.
Oh, we should talk about the water running. You want to cover that, Logan?
Yeah, so this game's character controller and level design went through a lot of iterations since it started. At first, it was very much about exploration and non-linearity, and so you used to be able to swim, and then you unlocked your water run later on to get around faster, but then that
felt awful.
Yeah, it didn't feel great, so it ended up getting removed, and rightfully so. But then there was this problem where the water running was a traversal tool when the islands were really far apart, but other than that, it wasn't really used in gameplay, and so if you tried to use it in a more closed area, it felt really off, and then people were kind of questioning, like, especially our playtesters were like, why is there no water on the islands that I can, like, platform between? And that was a really good question. And so when I joined the team, the levels and the water run basically got reworked. So instead of being these traversal tools between really distant islands, it was much more of like a platforming extra cool thing that was used. And it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, they were super fun. It resonated really well with people. People loved the little challenges we put in. But then we had to think about our target demographic. So we did a playtest in a local mall, and we got a bunch of kids to play the game. And it turns out kids are really bad at video games.
They're so bad. Good.
Yeah, like get good, kids. And they could not complete any of the special challenges we had made. So we had to cut like a good half of them, and recreate the other half to make them easier. Just so our target demographic could. Oh, what is this mysterious thing we just walked by? What was that?
Game, I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, our players were unable to complete some of the challenges without help from their older brother or sister or dad or mom or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun to reimagine and work on it, and we did later play tests with kids, and they loved it now, and they were able to do that a lot better. And a big part of that was the controller was designed to sort of be easy to just pick up and use, and then have a lot of extra little quirks and cool stuff that would allow players to go really fast. So if you are water running and you press the spin button, you get this giant boost of speed. Or if you spin while you're gliding, you'll get this cool horizontal / vertical boost. And so players can chain these, or advanced players can chain these together and get really cool techniques. A lot of which are used in the speedrun. 3 minutes. Beat that.
Speaking of, we just saw the culmination of Anisa's arc. Because we saved her in the mangrove, she decided to help us out here and raise some platforms. And if you don't help her, well, that's for you to find out.
I don't know. She might hurt you.
Yeah, she might launch you into the sun or something with a giant uppercut. That sounds like her.
That doesn't work. We removed the health thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We used to have health, but we removed it because it didn't work too well.
Mm-hmm.
And
these are Saffron's drawings. So Saffron has a bunch of drawings that he made that he'll show Basil if you find shells for him. We're only gonna look at one in this playtest.
You need to play the game.
So you can play the game and find out all of the special drawings that Saffron has to show you.
And find out what that mysterious hat was.
Yes, very mysterious hat. What could it be?
I don't know, and you talk to Saffron, you find his hat, talk to Anise, save her, don't save her, try and beat 3 minutes, good luck, you won't be able to, I'm too good.
And actually, there was a lot we didn't cover in here that you can find out about once you play the game, which will soon be available on Steam. Very soon, maybe even by the time you've seen this video.
Maybe even by the time you see this video. So thank you so much for listening to us ramble about video games, and please play it. We put a lot of work into it, and thank you.
We'll see you on the Isles of Spice.
Bye-bye.
Bye.